The world is currently being dismantled by a narrative that tells men they must be weak, compassionate, and tolerant to the point of having no morals or hard lines. They want you to be a weakling, but history tells a different story. Peace and prosperity were only ever secured when strong men stood up with their swords and declared, "This is mine, and I will defend it." All the modern problems we face today, from social decay to personal stagnation, could be solved by men of honor standing up and saying no to what is wrong. But you are too busy being distracted, allowing your standards and boundaries to be walked over. I believe in love, but I will not let a woman take the piss out of me. If I tell my woman she isn't going to the club and she insists on going, then it's over, period. Most men are so terrified of the emotion of missing a woman that they let her run their entire lives. You are a full-grown man scared of an emotion? If you can't control your own mind, you are destined for a peasant's life. Life is hierarchical. There are kings and there are peasants, and your inability to control your mind is the only thing keeping you at the bottom. Once you master your mind, life becomes ridiculously easy because everyone knows what they are supposed to do, they just lack the discipline to do it. At the end of World War II, men who witnessed unspeakable horrors didn't come home asking for therapy. They got back to life because they were taught to have a mind they controlled for survival. Today, men crumble over a breakup while their ancestors would feel nothing but shame watching them. You have an innate desire for conquest inside of you, yet you've been told that wanting to conquer is toxically masculine. The Romans, the Mongols, they were driven by a desire to conquer, and that same fire is inside you. If you are depressed, it's because you haven't conquered anything lately. Conquest doesn't have to be negative. I conquered the internet to help the world. But you have to move. Goals are for motivation, but I work on discipline. I don't work to afford a car. I work because it is my duty as a man and my duty to God. My day-to-day activities don't change based on whether I am happy or sad. How I feel is completely unrelated to my duties, and I refuse to fail my bloodline or my creator. Your ancestors fought saber-toothed tigers and dodged bombs just so you could be born, and currently you are a cretin who smokes weed and jacks off. You are the end of a long, glorious bloodline, and you should feel nothing but disgust when you look in the mirror. But that disgust is a tool. You must accept it before you can change it. You aren't a tree if you don't like your address or your life. Change it. It takes more than philosophical pronouncements or enthusiasm to alter your life. Enthusiasm is a cheap high that fades the moment you hit the gym and the weights feel heavy. What you need is the excitement of discipline, the ability to make yourself do the necessary things when you don't want to do them. Start with the little disciplines, like making a list and ticking off small tasks, to build the mental muscle required for life's big challenges. You have to motivate yourself because no one is coming to turn you on. Don't be the duck trying to attend Eagle School. Find the greatness within yourself and refine it. The first key to changing your life is the acquisition of ideas. I once told a mentor I had no money, and he told me the money wasn't the problem, the lack of an idea on how to create wealth was the problem. Success is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of study. If you want to be happy, study happiness. If you want to be successful, study success. Most people live only 1/10 of their lives, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they lacked information. There are books written by the most successful leaders in history detailing exactly how they did it, and yet the average man is too busy to read them. Curiosity is the engine of the elite. One book could save you 5 years of trial and error. You have the choice to remain the same or to massively change the direction of your life starting tonight. Take a metaphorical shotgun to your current embarrassing life and blow out the windows so you never have to live that way again. The cage door is open, but you have to be the one to walk out. Young men often ask me what is fun, and my answer is simple. Fulfilling your duty and being proud of your results is the only fun you need. Chasing hedonism and the black hole of having a good time leads nowhere. You were born with an instinct to conquer that has been systematically dumbed down by the Matrix. They numb you with entertainment, festivals, and fake depression to keep you from building an empire. Why did Genghis Khan, Julius Caesar, and Alexander the Great do what they did? It wasn't because they were looking for a hobby. It was because they had an innate drive to take territory and prove they were the best. Successful men in a financial sense are doing the same thing today. I have 4 Koenigsegg's, a Rimac, a Bugatti, and 53 other cars. I have nothing left to buy, yet I continue to work because I am winning the game of conquest. This God-given drive doesn't always mean dominating others. You can conquer by building skyscrapers, roads, or a beautiful family. I am not interested in fun because fun is for women and children. I recently sat at a table with 25 of the most beautiful women you've ever seen, with champagne and fancy food everywhere. Everyone around me was laughing and having fun, but I didn't join in for a single second. I was on my phone checking my bank accounts, speaking to my fight coach, and coordinating with my legal team. I provided the fun for everyone else, but I remained in a state of stress and work because that is my obligation as a man. I provide the cake, but I don't want to eat any of it. Fun is the vector from which Satan operates because it prevents you from retiring your mother, helping the world, or becoming stronger. You do not need fun, you need purpose, discipline, and performance metrics. You are currently a nobody with no physical strength or financial wealth. What right do you have to ask for time off this weekend? You haven't made a large enough mark on the universe to deserve a break. Your contentment must come from competence and succeeding at objectives, not from easily accessible hedonism. If everyone can go to a concert, you shouldn't want to be there. Exceptionalism is the only path to true satisfaction. Happiness is found in the struggle. The size of the problems you are facing is directly correlated to the level of success and happiness you will eventually feel. Solving those problems makes you a machine of monumental achievement. You need resistance to live well. If you only have joy and no pain, you will never be truly happy. This is why I decided to give up alcohol and all forms of fun for 6 months to see if I would enjoy being boring. I was already world famous and making millions while drinking, but I wanted to see what would happen if I became 100% regimented. I found that being boring and effective is actually more enjoyable than partying. Now, I have zero interest in clubs or traveling for leisure. I want to run my empire, spend time with the people I love, and beat my brother at Uno. People are afraid to accept that their life is a problem because they are lazy and afraid of losing. But bravery isn't required when winning is guaranteed. Bravery is required when you fight despite the odds. If you don't overcome your tendency to give up, your life will lead to nothing. Fear is a reaction, but courage is a decision. Most of the important things in the world were accomplished by men who kept fighting when there seemed to be no hope. When you tell me something is hard, you are just telling me you are a loser. Winners feel the same pain you do, but they do not quit. Most of you are happy to be part-time losers, pausing your escape from the Matrix to play a new video game for 2 weeks. Doesn't work that way. A rocket doesn't pause halfway up the sky while trying to escape the atmosphere. No more video games. No more loser antics. You are the only person who can make this work, and you are the only person who can fuck it up. God lays out a gauntlet so that the quitters can become the losers who allow the winners to stand out. My Bugatti is a symbol of the fact that I never quit, even when the night was black as a pit. I fought my way up, fought through betrayal, and fought through my own insecurities. I have an unconquerable soul, and if you want to win in 2026, you must develop one too. If you cannot find the time to go to the gym or dedicate yourself to your goals because you just don't feel like it, then you are a piece of shit. Greatness is not a lottery. It is a monument built by forcing yourself to endure the suffering required for success. A man must do what he is supposed to do, irregardless of how he feels. This is the core component of masculinity. Discipline. To waste the mind and body that God gave you is the ultimate form of ungratefulness. If you were given a Ferrari and treated it like garbage, filled with cigarette butts and neglect, you would be a fool. God gave you a consciousness and a physical form, yet you aren't using them to protect your family, get rich, or change the world. You make your own luck by becoming a soldier of the universe. I train every single day, 365 days a year, not because I want to get bigger, but because it hurts and I don't want to do it. It is a mental exercise to prove that I am a person who does what is necessary, even when it is difficult. You will never outcompete a man who forces himself through the things you avoid. The only real shortcut in life is to never miss a day. Success is subject to compounding interest, and if you aren't trying every day, you might miss the lucky day the universe has prepared for you. I came from a Luton Council estate and worked my way to hundreds of millions. When I meet someone who is truly broke today, I see an idiot. There are only 3 reasons you aren't rich. You are stupid, lazy, or arrogant. Most often, it is a combination of laziness and arrogance. You are too lazy to learn the skills yourself and too arrogant to listen to someone who has already won. People love to blame the Matrix or their circumstances, but they lack self-accountability. I have never seen a person who was truly determined in their heart to get something, not get it. I've seen people with no job and no credit score get a supercar because they wanted it more than they wanted to breathe. If you are unhappy with your life, fix it. If you aren't fixing it, You aren't truly unhappy, you are just looking for temporary hedonism. As a man, you should choose pride over happiness. Happiness is short-lived and often found in doing stupid things, but pride comes from making decisions that you and those who love you can respect. Your mind is your number one ally. Yet most of you have been sabotaged internally. Your own psyche is working against you, tricking you into procrastination and excuses. Before you worry about the enemies in the opposing trench, you must realize that the majority of your failures come from self-sabotage. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. You must do battle with your own indifference, indecision, and doubt. Don't let time go by without making a decision. Drive your doubts into a small corner and believe in your potential. Take a sword to the worry and the procrastination that seeks to destroy your values. This is a battle between the flesh and the spirit that will never truly go away. The flesh always wants the easy way out. It wants to sleep in, eat garbage, and seek instant gratification. But if you live by the dictates of the flesh, your gifts will never flourish and your relationships will fail. You must take charge of your life and tell your flesh no. When you are tempted to be jealous or lazy, you must override that impulse with the spirit of discipline. Winning the war within is about doing the right thing when it is hard, which is the only time God can trust you with more. It is shallow to live by how you feel. Discipline is difficult, but it leads to blessings and favor that the lazy will never see. Take the flesh off the throne and be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to pull yourself out of bed and fight your insecurities every single day. The world has enough battles on the outside. The real question for 2026 is whether you are brave enough to win the war occurring inside of you. Everyone has a dream, but almost nobody has a plan. When you ask a man if he wants to be rich, he says yes, but he has no map for how to get there. Fantastic things never happen by accident. A jacked man didn't wake up one day with muscles. He planned his meals, he planned his training, and he executed that plan for years. Getting rich is exactly the same. The problem with the world today is not that people do normal things, but that they do them without trying to be the best. If you are a barista, you shouldn't just be making coffee. You should be the best at it, filming it, soliciting attention, and launching a brand. You could go to Alibaba, find beans, put your face on the bag, and turn a nobody existence into a Ferrari driving reality. It is truly that easy if you actually try. Some people are so lazy that they would rather work a normal job every day for eternity instead of thinking outside the box for a single month. They enslave themselves because they are too lazy to plan. Working smart is what puts you on the starting line, but working hard is what wins the race. There is no avoiding the struggle. If you aren't prepared to suffer for something, then you don't truly love it or believe in it. Values come with obligations, and those obligations mean fulfilling your duty irregardless of how you feel. The modern obsession with how men feel is a cancer. No one around me talks about their feelings because nobody cares. Why should I care how you feel? The list of tasks on your desk doesn't care about your mood, it just needs to be completed. If you want something, you find the time. Don't lie and say you're too busy to network or make money. If you can sleep just fine while being broke and watching me buy a new supercar every day, then you deserve to be broke. But if that fact makes you furious, then use that fury as fuel to adapt. Darwin said the most adaptable survive, not the strongest. Be the first to jump into new opportunities like Bitcoin or YouTube. Don't wait for the right time because it never comes. You don't need to know more. You need to execute more. Embrace the mess and the chaos of starting. If you wait until you are 100% sure of every move, you will never move at all. You must live like a warrior, and warriors are always in fight mode. Delaying your life's work is dangerous because time is the only irreplaceable commodity you possess. I can buy another house or another suit, but I can never buy back the second that just slipped through your fingers. We are living in an age where people have traded effectiveness for busyness. Your life is cluttered with distractions that drain your energy and prevent you from being creative. Stop taking your talents to the graveyard. Don't be casual with your life, because casualness leads to casualties. Every moment spent scrolling through social media or watching television is a moment stolen from your legacy. The world is moving forward, whether you choose to join it or stay behind. Success favors those who push past hesitation and take the first step, no matter how small. Momentum is built in the present, not in the fantasy of a distant future. Look at the people who inspire you. They didn't get there by luck. They made deliberate choices to value their time and eliminate distractions. You have a vast potential inside you that will remain untapped unless you act now. Don't wait for permission or for the perfect alignment of circumstances. Progress doesn't require perfection, it requires action. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Stop waiting for inspiration or motivation to strike before you start. Those things are the result of action, not the cause of it. The clock is ticking, and while you hesitate, someone else is working harder and moving faster. Step into the arena today and refuse to let fear hold you back from the life you were meant to lead. Women are a fantastic mirror to a man's soul, and how they treat you tells you everything you need to know about your own value. They are ruthless because if they don't see value they can extract from you, you become invisible. You can go to a high-end restaurant with a woman and ask her how many men are in the room. She will only count the 3 or 4 who exude power, ignoring everyone else. If beautiful women seem rude or bitchy to you, it's not because they are inherently mean, it's because you don't exude enough value for them to even bother with a conversation. We are men, and we have to take accountability for this. If you are being rejected, don't ask for a magic word to make her blind. Ask yourself why you are a skinny, broke nobody. Women are a reflection of your weaknesses. If you are too emotional or too easily angered, she will teach you that by pissing you off. She will point out your shit haircut or your short leg when she's mad, highlighting exactly what is wrong with you. Every relationship that goes wrong is your fault because you are the one who became emotionally affectable or failed to provide a reason for her to trust your judgment. Stop obsessing over girls and start focusing on your empire. If you get your shit right, everything else falls into place naturally. Men like me get the women not because we chase them, but because we are too busy making money and doing important things. A woman wants a man she can trust to make decisions, and if she turns on you, it's usually because she no longer trusts your judgment. If you crash your car, you analyze why you didn't see the obstacle or why you were on that road. A professional analyzes heartbreak the same way as a failure of their own competence. You are the reason she became cold, and if you identify why, you can enter the next relationship healed and stronger. The world is a mirror, and there is no point in getting mad at it. Men typically only learn lessons the hard way, waiting for the car to hit the tree before they decide to slow down. But you should be perceptive enough to learn from the easy feedback before it blows up in your face. Life is hard and difficult, but you must find the joy in the struggle. I have had an endless amount of trauma and stress, yet I've used all of it to become monumentally successful. If you are sad because your girl left you, you have wasted months of potential motivation. Suffering is a gift from God. It provides the building blocks for greatness. The worst men on earth are the ones who haven't suffered enough. If you are an average guy, my only advice is to stop being average. Develop an above-average handshake, an above-average intensity, and an above-average hunger to win. Just doing your job and obeying the laws will only get you taxed into infinity. To crack the matrix, you must take 100% responsibility for your life. Nobody is coming to make you rich. You must wake up every day with the absolute intention to win, because the universe only respects power. Power comes from action, discipline, and doing the work that 99% of people are too weak to handle. You cannot escape suffering. You either suffer now through sacrifice or you suffer later through regret. Society has brainwashed you into thinking it's okay to be mediocre, but being average is the most dangerous thing you can do. Every second you hesitate is a moment someone hungrier than you is taking what could have been yours. You think you have time, but you are running out of it. Look at yourself. Are you the person you were meant to be? Most of you are soft, scrolling on your phones, watching others win instead of building your own kingdom. You want balance and fun, but the men who actually make it are willing to sacrifice everything. Regret lasts forever, while the pain of discipline is temporary. If you aren't willing to die for your goals, you don't deserve success. Break the cycle of starting tomorrow and step into the arena today. The breakthrough comes right after the struggle, and if you refuse to quit, you will eventually dominate. Being a winner has massive value, and that value exists only because it is so hard to achieve. You cannot have the prize without the struggle. If you want to be the person of your dreams, you have to love the fact that it's difficult. The difficulty is what stops everyone else from taking your spot. I would not trade 1 second of the pain I went through to become who I am today. To be truly happy as a man, you need to see the difference between the bottom and the top. You cannot fully enjoy a $15,000 dinner unless you remember the nights you were broke, eating cheap noodles just to survive. If you aren't ready for that kind of hard work, then you should step aside and let stronger men enjoy the rewards while you fade away. Today, society makes it okay to be weak, but that is a trap. Feeling sad is just a signal from your brain telling you to change your life. If you are out of shape, broke, and alone, your life is sad. The solution isn't a pill, the solution is changing your situation. Accepting weakness is a poison. People are told they have diseases they can't fix, which takes away all their power. I refuse to believe in anything that makes me weaker. If you are in a house and you hear a noise, you only get scared if you believe in ghosts. If you don't believe in them, you just go back to sleep. Success works the same way. I don't believe in depression because I don't want to give it power over me. I believe that everything that happens to me, good or bad, is my own fault. If a girl leaves you, it's because you weren't good enough to keep her. If you own that fact, you can fix yourself and win next time. But if you blame a disease or bad luck, you are just making excuses to avoid the hard work. You haven't earned the right to be happy yet because you haven't climbed the mountain. Everything valuable in this life must be earned through effort. A man's job is not to wake up and ask, how can I be happy? A man's job is to wake up and ask, how can I perform? If you focus on being proud of your work and your results, happiness will show up on its own. It is an infantile mindset to think you should feel good all the time without doing anything. Life is serious. Your income is serious. Supporting your family is serious. You need to get serious about your future and stop being lazy about learning. If you had a bad week, sit down and figure out why. Learn from your mistakes so you can make the next week better. Most people fail not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack the information and the discipline to use it. You can't change the wind, the economy, or the world, but you can change how you set your sail. Finally, you have to get moving. Thinking and planning are useless without action. Don't let neglect destroy your future. Start with the smallest habits, the small disciplines, like waking up on time or finishing a simple task. If you can't handle the small things, life will never give you the chance to handle the big things. Everything matters. If you are disciplined when you have very little, you will be ready to lead when you have a lot. The universe is fair. It gives the best lives to those who work the hardest and refuse to quit. Stop waiting for a miracle and start being the miracle. The biggest secret to winning at life is simple. You have to go first. Whether it is Bitcoin, real estate, the stock market, or even talking to a girl at a bar, the person who acts earliest always has the best chance of success. If you are the 10th guy to approach a woman, she is already tired and annoyed. If you are the first, you have her full attention. This rule even applies to a street fight. If you hit first, you give yourself a massive advantage by wobbling your opponent before they can even react. Most people fail because they wait for everyone else to go first to make sure it is safe. They wait until the risk is low, but as soon as the risk is low, the huge rewards are already gone. You should live in a permanent state of stress and focus, always looking for the chance to move before the crowd. There is a power bonus built into the world for those who act immediately. If you spend all your time thinking instead of doing, you will always be too late. You need to understand that nobody is coming to save you. Not a politician, not me, and not your family. You are alone in the middle of a vast ocean, and your only options are to swim or to drown. If you start swimming, you might find a boat, but if you just float there waiting for a miracle, you will die. God does not reward people who wait or people who quit. He rewards the action takers. Some people are too smart for their own good. They think so much that they never actually do anything. The best way to live is to take the action first and then think about how to make it work. Many people believe that a new government or a change in the system would magically fix their lives. But look at yourself now. Are you rich? Do you have the life of your dreams? No. Nothing has changed because you were waiting for the system to rescue you instead of rescuing yourself. The worst time to take action is the future, because every day you wait is a day of your life wasted without progress. I told you months ago that a leprechaun wasn't going to bring gold to your house. And I was right. You are still in the same room with the same problems because you didn't focus and work. We can laugh at how stupid the system is, but if that system still controls your life, then you are the one who is losing. You need to work harder now than ever before because this is your last chance to break free. Don't blame the banks, the media, or anyone else for your failures. No system can hold down a man who is a true winner and moves first. You are allowing others to break your spirit and make you quit. But a real hero resists and fights for his place in history. Success is the ultimate revenge against everyone who ever doubted you. Think about the people who broke your heart, or the teachers who said you would be nothing. If you become rich, get in amazing shape, and become famous, they will feel the sting of regret every time they see you. Your ex-girlfriend won't be happy with her new man if she sees you driving a supercar and looking like a warrior. She will hate her life and wish she had stayed with you. Success is a silver bullet that solves almost every problem and wins every argument. You don't have to play petty games or send angry messages to people who wronged you. Just get rich and powerful. When the people who abandoned you see the life you are living on social media, it will be the best victory you could ever ask for. If you go through life without winning, you are just a permanent victim. If you are a man and you aren't trying to become rich and powerful, I have no idea what you are doing with your life. You have the entire world at your fingertips, yet you still lack the motivation to get into the winner's circle. Growing up flat broke in England, I didn't know about private jets or Monaco. But the moment I saw what money could do, I knew I couldn't live as a second-class citizen anymore. Money is a competency test. It is simply a matter of wanting it enough to go out and get it. Waking up and taking 100% responsibility for your health, your finances, and your family is the only path to being monumentally wealthy. Winning is actually easy because most people are too weak to even try. Financial freedom isn't just about supercars, it's about removing the constant anxiety and stress of life's little problems. In the 1800s, men risked malaria and death just for a chance to dig for gold in the desert. Today, all you have to do is type on a keyboard, and most of you still won't do it. I don't feel sorry for you because you deserve to lose if you aren't prepared to work harder than everyone else. Going all in on yourself is the only investment that will never backfire. Even with enough money to never work again, I spend my days actively planning and identifying new ways to make more. Yet people with nothing won't even go to the gym to gain some self-confidence. There is a personality fault in you if you are refusing to become the man you could be. Blaming yourself for everything is the most beautiful part of life because it means you are the only one who can fix it. If your girl doesn't respect you, it's because you haven't done anything important enough to deserve that respect. Nobody cares about you or your nicer life. They are too busy with their own problems. If you are broke, you don't even love your family, because love means nothing if you aren't willing to work an extra hour to provide for them. Being mediocre should drive you crazy. You should be so sick of being broke that you commit to a do-or-die mindset. The world steps aside for the man who says he will win or die trying. You are not tired, you are just undisciplined. Every time you hit the snooze button or waste an hour scrolling, you are nailing the coffin shut on the man you were supposed to become. Time is cold, ruthless, and non-refundable. Most people fear losing $100, but give away years of their life like they are disposable. The difference between a winner and a watcher is that winners took time seriously before they ever had success. Your schedule is a direct reflection of your self-respect. Success isn't a secret, it's just math and reps from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Every hour you waste makes your dream drift further away. You need structure, not more motivation. Stop negotiating with laziness and start tracking your minutes like they are gold. The dopamine you get from your phone is weak compared to the power of being locked in and unstoppable. If you don't master your time, your boss or your bills will master you. The most dangerous thing about time is how silently it leaves you. You think you're 21 with forever to go, and then suddenly you're 35 wondering where the decade went. Wasting time is worse than failure, because failure means you tried, while wasting time means you didn't even show up. Someone with half your talent is winning right now simply because they respect time more than you do. You have 1,440 minutes in a day. If you aren't using them to build your empire, you are being robbed blind. You must become a savage protector of your schedule and cut off anyone who drains your energy or lacks vision. Ruthlessness with your time is the only way to separate yourself from the average. You have now and nothing else. Don't casually stroll toward greatness. Chase it with a ferocity that makes wasting a single second physically hurt. Protect your time like a lion protects its cubs, and become violently allergic to mediocrity. Your legacy is on the line, and the only person who can save it is you.